Hey guys, I just finished Moana. What a movie. So good. Moana to me is just like the best of what Disney princess movies can be. It's great. Um, there's so many things I absolutely love. I'm gonna start out getting super nerdy on you. So we're just gonna start there. We're just diving right into my nerdness. So when it comes to Disney movies, especially Disney princess movies, there are a few different formulas it follows. But the one Moana follows, which is the one a lot of other Disney movies follow, is the adventure one. We're watching Tangled later this weekend. Tangled follows the adventure. Let me see, who else follows it? Frozen's definitely an adventure. Mulan's kind of an adventure. Brave is definitely an adventure. Princess and the Frog is an adventure. So the idea is life is happening and life is whatever, and then the foil happens. And the foil disrupts normal life and sets the main characters on an adventure. And on the adventure, they usually have 2 or 3 stops along the way, and then they get to their final destination, and it all wraps up. Moana does the adventure thing just okay. I will say that. I love this movie. My one big issue with it is the stops along the way for the adventure I felt were not the best they could have been. I'm thinking of Tangled because I know I'm about to watch it. Tangled has so many good stops along the way. But with Moana, so the first stop is with the Kakamora, those little coconut guys. And the second one, I don't know his name, but with the crab. Now, the Kakamora was fun. I felt the crab was just kind of like, whatever, personally. Hate me if you want. I didn't think his song was super great. I just didn't find that whole stop interesting. But I found the overall adventure, the overall story really, really well. So again, not my favorite adventure beats in a movie, but overall a fabulous movie. There wasn't the dark ominous birds thing. I'm going to say it happened with Maui, especially in the beginning, because Maui is introduced almost as an anti-hero, and his bird is brown, which is a dark color. So it was ominous in the beginning when we're hearing this scary story. It's a dark ominous bird. I'm calling it. It's back. It's happening. Oh my gosh. There's so many things. Pua is my favorite. I love Pua, the little pig. And I just have to say justice for Pua, because Pua did not get to go on the adventure. And the largely accepted reason behind this is that Disney princesses are only supposed to have 2 sidekicks at a time. And so she has Hey Hey and Pua in the beginning, and then she goes on the adventure and she brings Hey Hey, and then a lot of people say that the water or the ocean is her other animal sidekick. I mean, if you want to think of it that way, I still think Pua should have gone. And I'm not alone, because one time I was at a mall that had a Disney store, and I was in there just looking around because, I love my Disney. And I was like, what if there's a stuffed Pua pig? That would be such a fun thing to just have, keep it in my guest room. I don't know. But I was like, I want one. And I go and I try to find it and I can't. And I ask them, we're sold out. If it's sold out, that means everybody else knows Pua is amazing. So I don't know why Disney didn't realize how amazing Pua was going to be and let Pua go on the adventure. That's maybe my biggest issue with the whole movie, is that Pua didn't go on the adventure. That's not okay. I love, though, Moana's parents were great. They were great. I love that the expectation they have for her is to become the chief, where we've seen a lot of these movies we've watched, where it's you need to find a man, or you need to just submit. And so I love that it was yeah, our expectation for you is to when you grow up to run the place. And I'm solid. I support this, parents. I love that. I thought it was super cool. We're making progress. I want to say something just about Disney in general with these princess movies, is they do a good job of having diversity in the cultures they're representing. Now, do they always do a good job necessarily doing an accurate representation of those cultures? Now, yeah, we can debate that. But if you just look at all of it, let me see here. We got Pocahontas, so we've got some Native American culture going on there. Anna and Elsa is Nordic, so you got, I think it's Sweden and all those areas. So it's different. I mean, whatever. Mulan, so we've got Chinese culture. Merida, we got Scottish culture. Tiana, African American. And again, that's not as great. And I was talking to Mandy, and she was like, I hate that, that we finally get an African American princess and she's a frog most of the movie. I hear you. I see you. There are issues in Pocahontas, like there's issues in all of these movies, but they do a good, like with all of the princesses they have, there is a really good mix. And I really appreciate that. And I think because Moana is so much newer though, they did such a good job at representing the culture and just having all these, so many cool things. I love that they had the tattoos. That was fun for me. Moana's hair the whole time is amazing. When she gets out of the water, it's wet and you can tell, realistic. Just those curls are like the dream. I love her curls. Like, oh, if I could just have that hair. And when she puts it up in a bun, the fact she puts it up in a bun when she needs to get down to business is real, and I'm here for it, and I love it. And that bun is like goals. I'm just, Moana's bun is my dream. The flashback when she finds out that her people are voyagers, the visuals, the song. Lin-Manuel Miranda, I believe, wrote every song in this movie. He is such a gifted writer. I am a huge fan of almost everything he writes. He's so good at it. The grandma, I want to be her when I grow up. I want to be that sassy grandma who is just spunky and out there and spitting truth and being I just love it. I want to be her. I loved when Moana left that her mom like kind of saw her and helped her, because the scene reminded me of when Mulan leaves her family and she sneaks off in the middle of the night and kind of gathers what she needs and goes. But unlike Mulan, Moana's mom found her and got to kind of help send her off. And I felt that was a much better moment. It was emotional in a different way, but it wasn't quite as sad. So I loved that. Maui is just the best. I mean, he is like, I don't know, he feels to me like the cousin or the uncle that everyone kind of is like off doing their own thing, and the family kind of like jokes about them a lot when they're not there. And then you meet them and they're like, yeah, they're kind of weird and kind of crazy. But then you realize how awesome they are eventually, and they're just fun and quirky and they bring life to the party. That's who Maui is to me. I love him. The tattoos, like his little Maui is the best thing ever. The character intro of the song You're Welcome, that is like some of the best character intro work I've seen Disney do. And I'm just like applauding whoever wrote that. I don't have a second hand, but I'm clapping. Applause. It was amazing. Yeah, the Kakamora, again, random, but fun. Not my favorite beat, but it's a beat and it's okay. The animation of the water throughout this whole thing, it's incredible. It's incredible to me. I'm loving it. I loved when Maui calls out the princess trope. He's like, you're a princess. You have an animal sidekick. You're a princess. She's like, no, I'm going to be a chief. And I'm like, yes. Yes, queen. Yes, you are. I mean, yes, chief. Yes, you are. There was this really cool moment when they're like fighting Te Fiti at the end. And Maui is about to like make his last stand, and he starts to do a haka. I think that's how it's pronounced. I didn't know what this was when I first saw Moana, but since then there's been a few videos kind of going around the internet that are viral. And that like the haka was, if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. This is all from memory. But the haka is like kind of, it was like a war dance, like a dance they would do before they go to war or to like pay honor. So maybe you've seen videos of like people doing these at like weddings or funerals. But from what I can tell, it's a very deep piece of culture. And so when he started doing it, I was like, he's doing a haka. Like, that's cool. Like, we're getting another culture beat. Like, that's so fun. And when Moana talks to like her ghost grandma and she has this whole moment of like, I mean, there's just moments, and I'm crediting Lin-Manuel Miranda for writing these songs for half of it, but just like the music and the moment, and you're just like, yes, go girl, you go. Yes, you can. That is who you are. You got this. And I'm just like, I'm so loving it. I absolutely love it. So let's get down to business. Our 3 categories for the song, How Far I'll Go. Yo, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. I mean, if you've been on the bus when we've been driving somewhere and How Far I'll Go comes on, we yell that song. We are so into How Far I'll Go. And I'm like, it's not just our group, it's everyone. That song is so good. It totally slaps. It's relevant. There is a key change. Guys, when there's a key change in a song, I get really excited. I'm like, key change! Here's the key change. It's amazing. It just adds emotion. It pushes it forward. It's beautiful. 10 out of 10. It earned it. 100% earned that 10 out of 10. Moana as a role model, I'm giving her a 9 out of 10. I love that she is dedicated to a cause greater than herself, and I love that. Her village, her people, it's not about, well, that's not what I want. It's no, like, I think what's best for our people. This is what we need to do for our people. And I love it. It's, again, kind of a little bit of that Pocahontas vibe at the end, where she, like, picks her people over her man. One, I love that Moana just doesn't need a man story. Like, she doesn't need a romance at all. Thank you, Disney. That was lovely. But she's great. She's determined. She's caring. But there was just, like, I don't know. I was sitting there and I was like, I just don't feel 100% giving her a 10 out of 10. Like, there was just moments where she was a little too spunky or disrespectful for her own good. I don't know. You can fight me on that. I just didn't feel it. I was like, again, like, you have to really earn that 10. I wasn't there. I wasn't there with her. I thought sometimes she was just a little too wrapped up in what she was doing to really take in what was happening around her. And maybe that bothers me because I can be that way, and that's what, yep. But I don't know. 9 out of 10 though. The message I chose from this is one of knowing who you are, what your identity is. Because that song she sings, like, with her ghost grandma, and, like, that whole last bit of the movie is all about who you truly are inside. And Maui even has this moment where he's like, without my hook, I am nothing. And then he comes back at the end, he's like, hook or no hook, I am Maui. And I'm like, yes, yes. And guys, you know that, like, our identity being in Christ is, like, my thing. Of all the soapboxes I have, that's my biggest soapbox. And I'm like, you need to find your identity in Christ. Like, that is who we are. And when we know that, returning the heart to Tafiti is like chump change in compared to what God has in plan for us for our lives. And so knowing who you are, knowing your identity, it's so big, it's so important. It's it's so good. All right, so let's put one on the board. We got a total score 29. I'm really excited about this. Okay, we're going to do some big changes here. There's some changes happening. Mulan, hey, she is still my homegirl. She's still my number 2. No matter where she's on the board, she's number 2 in my heart. This is happening. This is happening. Oh, it's crooked. That's not happening. There we go. Cinderella, no queen. Off the podium. Moana, sitting in bronze. All right, I gotta get these. These need to get fixed. There we go. Yep. That's where we're at. We have 3 movies left. I'm so excited. And we talked about what movies we're going to watch after this, because quarantine is being extended through the end of May. Yep, that's happening. So there's more movies to watch. We're going to be doing a Christian movie watch through. Once we get through these, we're going to do some good cliche, cheesy, and good Christian movies. So we got 3 more princesses. Let's see what happens.